Yo guys and girls, what is going on? Today is really something cool to show you, and this is basically the Galaxy Z Fold, which is it's really nice, cool. Let's see it in the camera. Foldable device here, made by Samsung. This is the third foldable device I believe they've made. This is one of the coolest shit I've ever bought. I actually bought this myself. It costs a lot of fucking money for it. This is basically a giant screen at the front. I mean, the folding mechanism is really nice. Just look at this thing, look at how it folds. See if I can make it nice into the camera. Oh, wait, it's like you can see the crease, the curve. Now there may be some fingerprints and shit because I've been using it all day. Look at this thing, man, it's nice. It's so beautiful. Think about this, you can use it in a lot of ways. If you want to watch just movies and something, just want to have it like this propped up. It's kind of nice. Have it open and shit. You can close it as much as you want. The hinge, it's really sturdy. It really works well. I have no complaints about the hinge. The phone is actually, I have to say, a pretty great all-around device for the money. I mean, Samsung really did pretty much the impossible with this device. It has a pretty good battery, 4,500 milliamps, that can last you throughout the day. Quite nicely. I mean, I can get around 7 hours of screen on time using the large screen in combination with the small screen, watching videos and playing games. I'm talking about really intensive games, and a pretty decent brightness, around maybe over a little bit more than half the slider in manual brightness, because I don't use adaptive brightness and shit like that. So yeah, the battery is not bad, and the battery is not small, but to power up such a huge screen, it's like 7.6 inches, you'd think that it died quicker. And I mean, the large screen is actually of much higher resolution than the small screen. The small screen is actually 720p resolution, which is fine for it if you're watching videos and stuff. I mean, what I like about this front screen basically is that it's really tall. It's something that I want to have in the Sony Xperia smartphones. They have this really nice aspect ratio. The front screen really tall. You can get much more information when you're browsing web pages or Facebook. And it was really nice. And this is basically the same idea here when you're using the front screen just. It's amazing. I'm really loving how much information you can fit on the tall front screen. I love the fact that it's 720p, so if you want to save battery, you can use just the front screen. That's amazing. And I mean, the front screen, it's just as good as the main screen, honestly. And the fact that it's made out of glass is even better. So even if something would happen to the primary main display that unfolds, you would still have a phone. This is the cool thing about this Samsung device, because it's not like the Motorola where if the primary display cracks, because eventually it will crack, it's either gonna get scratched or it's gonna stop working maybe in a year time at best, depending on how much you use it. And you won't have a phone unless you replace it, which might cost a lot of money. For this device, the screen costs, the first time you replace it, $150, I believe, and then much more expensive than this after the first year and first replacement, wears out, which is their premier service, screen replacement. But you'll still have the phone. You'll still have a fully functioning front display that's 6.2 inches. It's really tall. 720p might not be the best if the other screen dies, but you still have a phone that you can use. You still can use the cameras and everything, which is great. You have the screen, so the phone won't be completely dead. That's amazing. What I dislike about this phone probably is the fact that the camera array that's on the back is using the cameras from the Note 20, but not the Note 20 Ultra. The the larger of the two, that has the better cameras, that has the 50 times optical zoom camera here at the, it has to be, I don't know which one of the cameras, I think it's the third one, not exactly sure, but I mean, for the price of this phone, I was expecting to have the Note 20 Ultra, or Note 20 Plus, I remember the name of the thing, to have that camera system here, and the fact that it doesn't have it, kind of, not really cool. And honestly, these main Samsung cameras, I'm taking a lot of pictures of them, they're not the best, if I have to be honest. I don't know why. When I'm using something like I have the OnePlus 8T. I bought that like a month ago. Its night mode, for instance, is leaps, bounds, and heaps ahead of Samsung's night mode for some reason. Even in manual mode, I'm not able to quite get the same results when I'm shooting at night with the Samsung and with the 8T, the OnePlus 8T. The OnePlus 8T has some really nice software shit going on in the back. I'm not really sure if it's the software, if it's the camera itself, but for really quickly, it doesn't need like 5 seconds to take the night shot or anything like that. Really quickly takes the shot and then just manages to have this really bright, nice night shot, but not with that much noise. Or in the Samsung, usually a lot of noise pops in. So if I'm comparing that camera and the Samsung camera, in terms of night shots, the OnePlus 8T camera is much better than this one. This camera is probably better for more detail in daytime, not in nighttime, but in daytime definitely. But honestly, well, the OnePlus 8T's camera system pretty decent, pretty nice. Honestly, I really like the color of this one. Just look at this fucking. I think it's called Mystic Bronze. I mean, it's amazing. The Mystic Bronze is really awesome. And I love the dual speakers. You can see that there is a speaker on this side. The camera's face tracking me, so it's gonna be hard to see this, but there are speakers on both sides, and they're amazingly loud. They're tablet loud speakers, basically. It's like using an iPad. That's how loud they sound. It's like there are more than two speakers inside of the device, and they're amazing. You basically can fully enjoy whatever multimedia you're consuming with the two speakers. I haven't had a problem with them. Really deep sound, nice. There's also a hint of bass in it, which is really cool. What I dislike is the 25-watt fast charging. I'm surprised that Samsung, considering they had a 45-watt fast charging on their previous devices, decided to go again for 25 watts with this. It's not fast charging. 25 watts in a world where something like the OnePlus 8T has 65 watts, to me is slow. So it charges in like 2 hours time, and keep in mind the phone does get hot while charging. Unlike the OnePlus 8T, OnePlus 8T doesn't get hot at all. I don't know how that happens. They have some of their proprietary charging technology from Oppo, I believe. Doesn't really matter right now. But the Samsung gets hot. Samsung gets hot all the time. Unlike the OnePlus 8T, the OnePlus 8T has amazing kind of cooling and performance. You don't get a hindrance in the performance. The phone doesn't get hot in order for the CPU to stop working at full speed. Well, this phone gets hot all the time, even when you're using just the main screen, not the large screen. It doesn't matter how you use it, the phone does get extremely hot, and that will hinder performance. You're gonna notice some slowing down of performance, some lagging every once in a while here, even if you're not using multiple apps, which is surprising to me, but this has never been something that I expect from Samsung phones. They always claim to be a flagship, they always claim to have the best performance. That is not the case. So keep that in mind when you're buying this really expensive phone if you want to buy it. Yeah, I think that's basically some of the best, some of the worst features about the phone. And of course the fact that not a lot of apps are optimized to take full advantage of the screen. Even shit like Instagram doesn't appear fully on the screen. If I show you Instagram, and I can't because it's on my profile, but Instagram just appears like 1/3 of the screen. It fills the Instagram application. That's amazingly horrible, if I have to be honest. YouTube works kind of okay, Facebook as well, although when you want to see somebody's story, it changes the orientation of the screen and it cuts off the top and the bottom of a person's picture when it's on their story. It's also kind of not nice. I mean, not everything has gone to a point where it's going to use the software well. In terms of games, it's a hit or miss. Even if you try to force most games to use the full screen, it usually won't work. You're going to have a lot of problems in that area as well. So it's kind of nice to have this really large screen, but that's primarily, I guess, more for watching stuff on YouTube and then maybe Netflix, as compared to actually using it fully in gaming, because not a lot of games would support it. For instance, Knights of the Old Republic 2 supports the screen with no problem, but Knights of the Old Republic 1 doesn't, because it came out a couple of years ago and you cannot force it to be full screen. I don't know why. So, keep this stuff in mind. So yeah, that's it for me.